Welcome back. So, the topic this week is the unusual topic of being limitless. And what an unusual topic. How dare we think this way? We should, uh, we should keep our place. We should be inconspicuous. It's one way to live a life, I suppose, but uh, I have no problem with people being conspicuous if their conspicuousness is demonstrating love and light in the world. I love to be inspired. I'm continuously inspired by the actions of so many. I'm so grateful that they are living more and more limitless, because then it makes me realize that I can play that game as well. But then I was thinking, what does it feel like to be limitless? Do you feel unbelievably spectacular all the time? Do you have like this host, this quiver of superpowers you can reach into like a Marvel character and suddenly do all these great powers? And I don't know about that. To me, I think limitless feels like you've jumped into a very large river that's going very fast, and your choice is to coordinate yourself with the river as best as possible, or um, be in for a really bumpy ride. What's another analogy? You're a very small bird and you decide to attach yourself to the back of a very big bird, and that bird is flying where you've never gone before. Which reminds me of a story. Again, I'll refer to my good friend, and I bet your good friend, Emmett Fox, if you've ever read him. But he talks about every day when we go out into our garage or our front yard or our driveway, there are the usual animals out there. There's the cow, the oxen, the sheep, and these are very dependable, very reliable, very consistent animals. You know that when you get on your cow or your oxen, it's going to take you around town at a very slow pace, very consistent, very reliable. You can count on it. It's not going to freak you out. And there's something to be said for that. We love our dependable, reliable, domesticated animals that show up in our front yard. And of course, we might equate those animals to our current skill set or capacities, which are reliable and dependable and have help us keep the status quo. But then he says, one day you open your window or open up the door, and in your front yard is a unicorn. A unicorn? Yeah, one of the ones with the spiral thing on its horn and the it's snorting purple uh, atmosphere out of its nose, and it's stomping its golden foot, and it is bucking, and wild light is coming out of its eyes. Yes, nothing less than a unicorn. And the unicorn is saying, yo, get on my back right now. We are going. And those times will show up in your life. The unicorn shows up at your front door. Of course, the unicorn represents a radical opening of potential and possibilities, and it shows up in so many different ways. Here's one way the unicorn shows up that it may seem a little unusual, but for those of us in the recovery game, the unicorn might show up as a moment of clarity back when we were engaged in suboptimal behavior, so to speak. But doesn't matter who you are, what your game is. There are a few times in your life where the unicorn shows up and the unicorn says, get on. And those are rare and wonderful times. And when the unicorn shows up, get on. Don't ask questions. Get on, because the unicorn doesn't wait for you. It doesn't listen to your reasons and excuses and justifications, and it doesn't want you to think about it for 30 days. The unicorn ain't waiting, because it's not your will, it's God's will. And the unicorn says, get on. And if you don't get on, the unicorn leaves. Now, does that mean the unicorn's never coming back? Of course not, because the love, the power, the inspiration, the guidance, the thrilling, jubilant, expansive, creative power of God is always. But in terms of our mortal life, when the unicorn says, get on, get on. And then you'll go on a ride, you'll go to places the cow and the oxen and the sheep are not going to take you. And that's exactly what my life feels like right now. I am being stretched in every direction. I'm having three musician friends come over to my little musical studio, and they're going to show me how to set up my mixer, my mic, my audio interface, connect all my instruments along with my pro. It's just what's going on today. I am riding a unicorn, and it is everything I can do to hold on for dear life. This Saturday is the donation fire event, and I am just, this is how I like life. I'm barely hanging on, but I'll tell you, man, uh, life is a great adventure or it's nothing at all. So if the unicorn shows up in your driveway today and is pawing and snorting for you, get the hell on, would you? Because the ride is worth it. Anyway, I'll see you all tomorrow.